Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about a story. In the distant year 1865, the smoke of the Civil War filled the air. In a Confederate prison, holding in custody a Negro soldier recruit, a captain in the Northern Army, and a neutral war correspondent. They were not willing to be captured. Especially the captain. A storm that lasted for days. Became the occasion for a change in their destiny. The scene changes to the prison compound. In the midst of the storm, the scout balloon stands out. While the guards were away, the captain and his men made a decisive move, taking down the staircase pillars. A reporter came to cover the story that night, but they fell. It gave them a chance to take advantage of the situation. 3 well-prepared men easily overpowered the guards. They seized the weapons. They rushed to the balloon with the reporter. At this point, the Confederate veteran in charge of guarding the balloon, tired of war, too. I joined them. In the midst of all the bullets, the balloon miraculously took off. But no one could fly it. The future is uncertain. In the midst of the storm, the balloon was blown up into the clouds like a leaf. It flew helplessly for 3 days and 3 nights, across 7 continents and 8 oceans. Suddenly the balloon is bursting through a hole in the rainstorm. It's falling fast. To save weight, they threw away all their weight. They even cut down the cabin. He ended up on a rope. The captain fell into the sea. The balloon continued to fly diagonally towards the sea before it crashed. The people had no choice but to jump into the sea. At daybreak, the Negro boys realized they had been washed up on an island. The water was blue. The seagulls were flocking. The team was safe and sound. The captain was the only one missing. Then they saw white smoke rising in the distance. They went there and found him unconscious. There was a campfire nearby. He hadn't woken up yet. Strange about where the fire came from. They just thought he had lost his memory. They didn't care. The next step was to put food on the table. This island is incredibly rich in resources. There were wild oysters half a meter long, and truck-sized crabs. The camera focuses on a crab the size of a truck. 2 men walking slowly. Suddenly the sand rises up under their feet. They fell down instantly. It turned out that they had stepped on a huge crab. They had never seen such a big crab before. They were so scared that they turned around and ran. The little black man fell down accidentally. Before I could get up, the giant crab came at him on 8 legs and grabbed him by the pincers, weighing 100 kilos, and shoved him into his mouth. His companions heard the screams, turned back immediately. He fought back with his stick, but the crab's shell is hard. The wooden stick was useless. He was almost caught by the crab's pincers. It's a good thing the little black man's screams have attracted the others. They raised their sticks. One of them took the opportunity to use a half-meter thick rope and tied it to the crab's hind legs. They all tried their best to pull it, but he was dragged all the way to the edge of the cliff. The crabs were about to flee into the sea. They changed their strategy. One of them pulls the rope. 3 of them used their sticks. I used the terrain to flip the crab. Saved the little black man. The crab fell into a hot spring. After 6 hours of slow cooking, a delicious boiled crab is ready. The hungry 5 were swept off their feet. After eating and drinking, they began to explore the island. They walked to the crater. They found a herd of goats. They're thinking of having a lava shabu shabu. The black guy says the island is magical. It's like there's everything. He fantasized that it would be great if there were beautiful women. But he didn't realize that the next moment, there was a boat in the distance. They rushed to the beach in excitement. But the boat was broken up by the rocks. On the shore of the shelf lay the beautiful Mary and Irina, and their dead servants. It turns out they're orphan nephews from a wealthy family. Irina's father was a diplomat. It took a long time for the ship to leave. Mary was furious. She dragged Elena into the main house, with a beautiful woman on board. The tough guys are in high spirits. They're working harder. They're looking for a cozy place for the babe to stay. They found a cavern connected by rattan. I'm not curious yet. Climb up. It's covered in cobwebs. There are signs of human life. Decaying pirate supplies and a big bottle of wine. And a bunch of skeletons and journals. The diary owner was exiled for offending a pirate leader. Unable to bear the loneliness, he hanged himself. He left a treasure for the discoverer. He didn't tell them where it was. This became their new home. They put in an elevator. They started cutting down trees and building boats. The days went by. They enjoyed life while they built their boats. The black guy found a big box in the sea. Inside were all sorts of useful tools, such as mirrors, hairpins, guns and ammunition. Mirrors, hairpins, guns, ammunition. Binoculars, charts, compasses. Pots and pans. No tools have been utilized. Presumably the island is in the South Pacific. The rifle is engraved with the word Nautilus. Reporter says it's a giant submarine. Nautilus. Captain Nemo hates war. He's been known to sink battleships. But he sank 8 years ago. Life and shipbuilding were made easier by the advent of the chest. One day, a great shadow loomed overhead. The reporter opened his eyes and saw. It was a huge turkey. He was so scared, he ran away. And led the turkey back to the campsite. The turkey's handsome hairstyle almost charmed 2 women. She wants to eat people. Irina was stunned. Auntie's gun jammed. Auntie's gun jammed. The reporter couldn't even fight with a giant stick. Moment of truth. A new recruit arrived. He jumped on the turkey's back and stabbed her to death. They carried the turkey into the hot springs to make boiled chicken for dinner. They found that the bones of the chicken were so hard that they chipped their teeth. There's a bullet in there. But they didn't shoot anyone. It's a mystery. Irina's dress was torn and replaced with a new sheepskin. A new recruit saves the day. Capture her heart. The two started dating in secret. On the beach, they found an unidentified liquid running down a rock wall. When it grows, it's honey. Follow the wall to the cave. Inside is a giant beehive. When the 2 men tried to get the honey. When they tried to get the honey, huge bees came. They hid in the latticework of the hive. The bees sealed the hole with beeswax. The 2 of them escaped by melting the beeswax in a fire. They escaped by melting the beeswax on fire, only to fall into an underground lake, where they found the luxurious Nautilus. They realized that this could be the way to get off the island. They immediately returned to tell the others. At the same time, a large ship was approaching. It was a pirate ship. They looked through their binoculars. The pirates sent 3 men ashore for honey. They also found a new ship. The captain told the men to hide the women. The captain told the men to hide the women, which led to the accidental discharge of a gun. The captain had to deal with 3 pirates first. The sound of gunfire alerted the pirate ship. The captain ordered the guns to fire on the cave. The cave was blown to pieces. As the pirates cheered, a cannonball hit the pirate ship. The ship sank and the people died. The crowd was wondering. A man in a conch hat and a diving suit, and a man with a spear in his hand came ashore. He calls himself Captain Nemo. It's the owner of the Nautilus. He's not dead. He's been watching and helping them from the island. Now he's showing up. Because the volcano on the island is going to erupt in 2 days. He wants everyone to leave together. Captain Nemo also shared his experiences and philosophy. He's dedicated to eliminating the root causes of war by experimenting with plants and animals to give mankind an inexhaustible supply of food. Giant oysters, crabs, turkeys, and beehives. He's been working on them all. Faced with a volcano about to erupt, the submarine won't start. And it's too late to build a ship. They decided to restore the pirate ship. Captain Nemo gave them an example of how it works. We're all working together. Felling trees. Make a patch. Woman collecting rubber. They make pipes. Nemo is also equipped with diving gear to familiarize them with the underwater environment. They're getting closer to success. The volcano erupted early. There's a lot of smoke. Earthquakes are frequent. Lava is pouring onto the beaches. It's too late to fix the ship's exhaust. The captain suddenly remembered the balloon. The plan was to connect it to a ventilator into the shipwreck, inflated with submarine equipment to keep the ship afloat. Well, move into groups immediately. Captain Nemo stays with the Nautilus to operate the air. Captain Nemo will stay on the Nautilus and operate the air. The pump recruits will take the women and transport the balloon. The rest of us will go to the shipwreck to meet them. The eruption is intensifying. More rocks falling from the submarine. Captain Nemo hides in the submarine. When a hot air balloon is jammed into a sinking ship, a man was attacked by a giant octopus. The octopus has yet to be fought off with an electronic gun. Finally, the pirate ship has surfaced. The crowd cheered. But the eruption became more violent. The Nautilus cave exploded. Captain Nemo couldn't retreat in time. Struck by a steel frame. He died at sea. And the results of his research were lost. This island witnessed their adventures and growth. They left behind endless regrets and emotions. Their story is like a legend. In this mysterious sea,